Into this video, we're going to discuss a stock that is about to make a massive move. We're also going to look at the overall market to get you guys prepared because this week, big tech stocks are reported. So let's dive right into it. Alright, y'all, right off the bat, we got the SPY futures over here. And so far, it's trying to curl back positive. It's trying to make a run higher. All right. As I explained in Sunday night's video, the SPY was making higher lows, as explained with these green circles. And today we made another higher low right here. I believe this was right in the morning, right out the gates. It opened lower compared to yesterday, but as soon as it got to this level, it immediately started to go higher and higher. Now, I like the structure. I mean, I like the fact that this line is holding, but if we zoom in some more, there is a structure that I really like on the SPY itself, and it's very visible on the ETF. There is a bullish pennant right here, right there, all right, that broke out at like 11 o'clock in the middle of the day. And then what is really helping this structure play out is the reaction to Google's earning. Google is a tech stock, and it's a $2 trillion stock. And when it has big reactions, it tends to move the market, and it's moving the SPY in a positive direction, which I really like because I do have SPY calls. All right, now with this structure right here, watch SPY for a move up to like 500, well, 59.40. In relative to the SPY itself, watch it for a move up to 588 right over here. All right, as you can see, my alert, as you can see with this chart and structure, QQQs is not as clean, but it is there. Like, it's not as clean as of a bullish panic, but it's still playing out the same way. And instead of 505, this thing is probably gonna push up to like 508. Yeah. Now, there is something that maybe some of you are worried about, and that's in the back of my mind. If we make a massive push tomorrow, y'all remember what I told you guys. Every time there is a big move, a huge move in the market, there tends to be a doji the day after, right? So tomorrow is Wednesday. The doji that I'm concerned about, I'm talking about Thursday. All right. So if we see a massive push, Microsoft and Meta have earnings, and I don't really have too high expectations for them, especially if we get that big move tomorrow. All right, now let's just look at this stock. Let's look at the first stock to keep in your watches. The first one is Snapchat. All right, now with Snapchat, it's looking like this. It had earnings, it crushed earnings. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, but okay, it says right here, the results came out better than expected. Great. Now, where is this thing going to go? What I want you guys to do, again, since this one is happening after hours, what I want y'all to do is to have an alert right above this high at 12.25 and patiently wait for it to ring tomorrow morning. It might form a structure before it pushes higher. All right, but the key is the first 5 minutes. So we want it to open around this price and then form a green candle that looks like this, right? Or it can play games and then pop out later, maybe at like 9:30 or 10. That's fine too. But we also want to see volume that are as high as what you see right here, 3 million in shares traded. We want to see volume like that. All right. Also, we're gonna zoom out and look at it on a slightly bigger picture. Okay, I see an opening at 12. All right, so if it opens up at exactly $12, watch it for a run first to 12.80. And then once that gets taken care of, you should be really careful and not be greedy. I see that, again, like I said, whenever there's massive moves, there tend to be a doji the day after. Thursday is the day after. All right, that's what I'm worried about. But for tomorrow, just watch it for that move right there to $12.88. Now, let's check out Google, because Google crushed earnings. All right, now with Google, I like it a lot. Right now it's at 180. It's at 180, which is good. We're gonna go on the 4-hour, and we're gonna zoom in right here. Now there was a structure before the spike or before the reaction to earnings, that would make someone want to buy calls ahead of earnings. That's the structure right here. All right, the earnings positive reaction, meaning a breakout, right? So it kind of played out very, very well. So it doesn't always play out like that. All right, it doesn't always play out like that. Even though there could be a nice structure that leans bullish, you know, it could go the opposite direction. But in this situation, it went the right way, which is fine. Now, something to worry about is the gap on the left, because it's at 181 right here. Okay, it's right under the line. So it's gonna open up at 180, and then it's gonna run for like $2, right? And then we have a gap down here to take care of. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. Don't get too greedy, especially if it gets up here. The biggest amount of money to be made would be to the downside, but I don't think that will be tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna take care of the upper side of the wick, and then if again we got Microsoft, we got Meta, all right, and also on Thursday morning we got, I mean, Uber is not gonna move the market that much, but we also have like Amazon and Apple to worry about on Thursday evening. And if those collapse, then that gap that it left behind could actually get taken care of between Thursday and Friday. But that's for another video. All right, that's for another video. So for tomorrow, just watch it for that move. All right, and then maybe on Thursday there could be a little bit of a pullback to make money with puts. Now let's do an update on Microsoft. All right, now with Microsoft has earnings tomorrow. Now, out of all of the stocks that are reporting, let me clean up the chart real quick. I think Microsoft could actually do really, really well relative to everything else. Like Meta could be an IV crush and it could go nowhere. But if there is one stock that I believe is strong enough to really, really push, it would be Microsoft. I wouldn't want to bet against the stock. I really, really wouldn't. Especially when a lot of these big tech stocks are trying to catch up to QQQ, right? And here's what I mean. Look, Microsoft right here, and it tried to recover, but not quite. All right, it has room all the way up to like 464 to go. But if you look at QQQ is already all the way up near its all-time highs. All right, so there is a lot of room. We got Microsoft, which is pretty much lingering below and has this amount of room to make up for, and earnings could be the reason why it catches up. All right, so that's my initial thoughts on it, on Microsoft, and why I think out of all of the stocks that are reporting tomorrow afternoon, this one might be actually worth it for a long, right? But for a move up to like 460, yeah, that's my thoughts on it, and that's the only thing I can think of. 460 for Microsoft. All right, now let's look at Meta real quick. And Meta, I say IV crush because if you look at the trade tab, if you look at the IV, right, and you look at the at-the-money contracts, are like $1,900. Usually, like on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, usually this costs like $600 or $700 max. All right, and for it to be this high, and especially after we've seen a big move like this, and if you look at the contracts, it only went up by 40%. This contract's gotta get cheaper somehow. All right, so I think this one will be the IV crush, and then Microsoft is actually going to do much, much better. The last stock to discuss in today's video is Lilly. Lilly is moving in after hours, but if we look at the 1 hour, and we zoom in, there is a bear trap on there that formed after this. All right, first and foremost, there was a descending triangle. It broke down, but it didn't really commit. Like, it really tried, and then it went sideways and trapped a whole lot of bears right here. Right, this is where all the bears are trapped. And then it has earnings tomorrow morning, so this is definitely something to keep your eyes on. I'm not sure exactly. I see there's some news on the left that's making this thing go up by $10. All right, so maybe earnings doesn't really move the stock and it opens up at 920. But either way, just remember there's a lot of bears in here, and the initial push this morning is not what they wanted, and there's still some bears that need to cover. So the higher it goes, the more stop losses get triggered. All right, so watch it for a move up to 930, maybe 935 tomorrow because of that bear trap. That's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future uploads. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow my social media at Paul and Goodman, at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.